I just got off the phone with my mentor, and we talked about how I can position myself as a fractional executive with the experience that I have, with the totality of my experience. And my mind is absolutely blown simply because for years now, I've actually been neglecting a big part of my journey and my experience. And that's basically what you see now, me in scrubs, me as a nurse practitioner. I have been in the nursing profession for over 20 years now. And she told me it was vital that I included my nursing experience when I am approaching these companies. Not only my nursing experience, but my experience of being a clinician as a nurse practitioner and my experience of writing so many articles and books and everything else that's come along with my experience in the nursing profession. And for years, I've been like, okay, but I'm a brand strategist. Yeah, I'm an author. I have an agency, but I did feel like something was missing. I did. But she told me the way that everything goes together is basically a talent stack, in that you stack talent upon talent upon talent, and maybe one talent by itself is not a lot, nothing really to write home about or brag about. But when you stack it on top of other unique experiences, it sets you up to be that much more prepared for the fractional executive role, for one, and it also sets you up to potentially make more money. And she basically called me a unicorn simply because of what I do and my experience, because there is not that many nurses or people who are in the nursing profession that go out and actually have a business that is somewhat related to marketing that has nothing to do with nursing, So she told me that I was a unicorn in that sense. And since I am so specialized in healthcare and I do have so much experience, then I can command a whole lot more money, which is wonderful. So yeah, I'm completely blown away by the conversation we had. But still, since we're still so early into everything, I'm still a little bit unsure. So we'll see how everything goes.
Let's talk about talent stacking. What it is, why it's important, and why you want to consider talent stacking when looking for a fractional executive position. The term talent stacking was coined by Scott Adams, which is basically a combination of skills that make someone more sought out in the professional world. This concept has been popularized over the years by many well-known entrepreneurs. One of note is Alex Hormozi. I'll go ahead and let Alex explain his take on talent stacking.
Skills are the only thing that we'll always appreciate in time and work in compound in concert. So when they work together, if you know how to do math, then you can learn how to do accounting. If you learn how to do accounting, you can learn how to do tax work. If you learn how to do tax work, you can figure out how insurance works. If your insurance works, then you all of a sudden you're a CFO and you can prepare companies for sale. Like, the skills stack on top of each other.
As you can see, combining your skills makes you really valuable in the market as far as being an entrepreneur, or maybe even if you're transitioning into a new career. What this means is, for someone like me who's transitioning into a fractional executive role without that corporate background and with a unique background, that I can actually use the skills that I've developed over the years and transition into something completely different. In my personal example, we have to take into consideration my extensive nursing background. This is something that my mentor told me I cannot ignore, and then this makes me highly valuable based upon what types of positions there are available as a fractional executive.
Specialized skills are valuable. If you are good, you will always have a place to provide value.
There aren't that many fractional executives that move on from a bedside or a clinical role more into a marketing role like I have as an entrepreneur. So therefore, she said, it is imperative that I add this in. So you should not ignore your professional background or whatever background you have before you decide to transition into a fractional executive. In my instance, I had that extensive nursing background. And even though I've transitioned into being an entrepreneur and marketing and YouTube and all this other stuff, it seems like it's unrelated, and in your case, it may seem like it's unrelated as well, But that doesn't matter. It just means you're layering on different things, and you could actually be a unique type of individual transitioning into a completely different role. So just don't be worried if your background doesn't necessarily align with what you think it should align with. So in addition to me being a nurse, I've also written books, I've written articles, I've written for corporations, I've had things turned into apps. I started this agency at Studio 822 and have experience with YouTube. So my background is very varied, it's very extensive. And so this does help me when it's time to come up with a fractional executive role and seeing where I actually fit in. I bet if you listed all of your business and personal accomplishments, you would have a ton, and you'd be able to come up with a completely new role that you had never imagined before. Right now, I am trying to figure out the best fractional executive role that will fit best for me and my skills. And so I don't quite have that yet, but I'll have that on the next video. And I'm excited to reveal that in the next video, along with the different fractional executive roles that you could potentially pursue in your career. This leads me to ask you to subscribe, make sure you like the video, and you are here for the next one where I'm talking about fractional executive roles and the role that I finally end up with. See you on the next video.